Well, they've created an artificial problem. They say the planet is heating up fast, the ice caps are melting, sea levels are rising, biodiversity is being threatened. There are too many people. Carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases are contributing to the rise of temperatures worldwide. Our use of oil and natural gas, combined with the development of the world's rural areas, is intensifying global warming and therefore climate change. We have to make a change, and we have to make that change fast. Time is running out. Celebrities, officials, and all sane people across the world agree that we're in danger and that human beings are the actual cause. Really, you are the cause. And so it's time you take responsibility for your actions and stop being selfish. You were told that multi-story housing must be built along bus and rail lines in your town, and that the current design of buildings and streets in your area, well, those are all wrong. You were told that living in the rural or suburban lifestyle is bad for the planet, and that you drive too much, you eat too many cows, you waste too much water on your lawn and your garden, you use too much energy, and you're destroying the planet with your selfish attitude. To solve this problem, well, enter the United Nations 1992 Real Earth Summit, which produces the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives, or ICLEI, a non-governmental organization to implement Agenda 21 locally around the world in every city, town, and region to reverse the effects of human climate change. Chapter 27 of UN Agenda 21 focuses on the role of NGOs in implementing the agenda worldwide to combat your selfishness. NGOs are used to blur the lines between government and private sectors. As governments become less and less able to maintain staff, they will contract out services with organizations, civil society organizations, which are not accountable to the people. ICLEI is such a group. It has a special consultative status to the United Nations, a position held only by a handful of the millions of nonprofit groups worldwide. ICLEI is the implementation arm of the United Nations Agenda 21 for Sustainable Development. The goal is to lobby and provide policy consultation designed to influence and change local governmental policies related to all aspects of human life. ICLEI sells training materials to governments.
ICLEI's powerful online application ClearPath dramatically improves how cities use data to meet their climate goals. ClearPath is a comprehensive emissions management platform that guides local governments through a proven step-by-step process for cutting carbon pollution. Cities begin calculating their community's carbon footprint in the inventory module. ClearPath makes it easy to create emissions inventories consistent with global protocols like the GPC and to send data to public reporting sites like the Carbon Climate Registry. Next, cities use ClearPath's forecast module to examine how their community's emissions will change over time and to better understand what the future will hold if no action is taken. Cities then use the planning module to evaluate climate change policies and programs and visually communicate how they will meet their emissions reduction targets. Finally, cities use the monitoring module to track projects and trends, supporting a process of continuous improvement in climate performance. Currently, over 300 U.S. communities are using ClearPath to track their energy and emissions data. A select group of just 17 communities have demonstrated estimated reductions of over 11 million tons of carbon pollution, equal to taking 2.5 million cars off the road in the U.S. We're all in this together, and finally, we have a clear path forward.
Sets up climate adaptation programs and measures and monitors community greenhouse gas emissions and more. Even with all the efforts that are put forth by all the partner nations, ICLEI warns those valiant efforts alone would not reach a sustainable level of resource consumption and pollution in communities, better known as the ecological footprint of cities. Notice, even if every local government in ICLEI performed in the most advanced manner into the future, that it would not be enough to reach a sustainable level. Do you feel the panic? Are you not buying it? Well, they'll pass some legislation to make you buy into it. But what exactly does an ICLEI member receive? Before we get into that, stay up to date with everything Iconic by following us on all of our social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like our videos. To support us, you can go to patreon.com/theiconicpodcast and make a monthly contribution. You can also go to theiconiclabel.com and purchase a hoodie, a hat, or a t-shirt. Now let's get back to it. What does an ICLEI member receive? Well, clean air and climate protection software and training, tools, guidebooks, case studies, and other resources, including a library of local government sample ordinances, policies, resolutions, and other supporting documentation. They get webinar training and workshops, state, regional, national, and international peer networking opportunities, technical and programmatic expertise and assistance from their staff, regional, state, federal, and funding updates, as well as federal and international policy analysis. They also receive annual training and leadership events and recognition with rewards. They also get representation in international meetings. The big one here is the clean air and climate protection software and training. That's the key. Why? ICLEI is here to help save the planet from climate change, and your city will play a huge role in that process. How do we know? Because your city conducted a climate resiliency study to measure your greenhouse gas emissions. Your city or your county's general plan needs to be changed to conform to UN Agenda 21. Remember though, they want your buy-in so that they can say that it's your plan. So we need you to run a clean air and climate protection software and go through the training modules. And once you're done with that, you'll see how much of a pollutant you are. We need you to buy into it because we need you to go to represent the plan to your people as your own. We'll teach you exactly how to do it. Together, we can save the planet if and only if you follow these new rules. This isn't a left or a right issue. No American wants an increase in domestic surveillance, corporate takeover of our political, legal, and governmental systems, restriction of free speech, or the enormous waste of our resources through endless wars, phony climate crises, and fake pandemics. And no matter what you call it, if you call it smart growth or sustainable development or form-based zoning or capacity consistency and rebuilding or wildlands projects or homelands projects or outcome-based education, it's world government. And it's based on collectivism, corporatic in structure, authoritarian in scope, communistic in implementation, ideologically it's communitarian, technocratic in its control mechanism, and feudalistic when it's finally implemented. The question is not what is Agenda 21. The question should be what isn't Agenda 21. And it's not Republican, it's not Democratic, it's not Libertarian, and it's not Independent. It's communitarian. That's the new law of the land.